Okay, so in today's little lesson, to prepare us for writing our short stories, we're going to be talking about conflict in literature. So, conflict in our story or in a book or in a movie is really important because without conflict, nothing happens. So, conflict is the problem that a character in a story has to overcome. So, this is what makes the story interesting. It's what creates the tension and suspense. This is connected to that question we've been asking in our plot diagrams around, will our protagonists get what they want? Will this conflict that they're facing be resolved? So, conflict pits our main character, our protagonist, the character that we are invested in, against an antagonist. Sometimes that antagonist is another character, or sometimes it's some other force. And we'll take a look at some examples of all of those different types of antagonists we might see when we look at types of conflict. All types of conflict, there are six, fall into one of two categories. They're either internal or external conflict. So the six types of conflict, or these are the six main types of conflict that we'll see in all different types of movies, short stories, books, plays, all of that. Sometimes in a longer work, there would be multiple types of conflict going on. In the short stories that we're going to be writing, really there just needs to be one type of conflict. So the first type of conflict here is character versus self. So that is our internal type of conflict. So internal conflict is when a character struggles with something going on inside them. It happens within them. It has to do with their thoughts and their desires. So character versus self means that they're maybe struggling to figure out a difference between right and wrong, or it might involve them battling some sort of, mental illness, or their sanity might be the conflict that they're dealing with there. All of the other five types of conflict are external conflict, meaning that the conflict, the challenge is happening outside that character. It's from an external force. So, probably the type of external conflict most of us are familiar with and what we think of when we think of conflict in a story is character versus character. So, this is a really common type, and it's where one character's needs or wants are at odds with another character's. So sometimes this conflict can be really straightforward, like characters get into a fist fight, there's a yelling match, or it might be something that's a lot more intricate and nuanced, like a battle between two opposing kingdoms, or a fight for power. So that's character versus character. So the next type of conflict is character versus nature. So that is when there is some sort of conflict or struggle that the character faces against their environment or against some sort of force of nature. So maybe that's weather, maybe that's a natural environment if someone's lost in the woods or battling the elements in a desert or lost at sea, or they're experiencing some sort of natural disaster. It's a story about a wildfire or an avalanche or a tornado. Another type of conflict that would come into character versus nature is conflict with an animal. So, if you think of the movie Jaws, for example, where there are people hunting this great white shark and the shark starts attacking the boat, that shark is an element of nature. So, that would be an example of character versus nature. But if there's a character in conflict with an animal, it's not automatically character versus nature. If that animal is a character in the story, if there's it's a type of story where maybe all the characters are animals, or where there can be some human characters and some animal characters, conflict with an animal that is a character would still fall under character versus character. So, an example of that would maybe be the Jungle Book. So, there's the little boy Mowgli, who's the only human character in that story, but all of his conflict is with other animals in the jungle, like Shere Khan, the tiger. In that case, that would be character versus character rather than character versus nature. The next type of conflict is character versus society. So, this is when the character is in conflict with the social environment they find themselves in. So, maybe they're in conflict with the government or they're opposing some laws. Maybe there's conflict with a cultural tradition or some sort of societal norm. So the conflict maybe comes from characters trying to take action against a society because they're trying to survive, or maybe they disagree with what's happening in society and they are trying to right a wrong. Or maybe they're just trying to restore a sense of balance in their world and they're fighting for freedom or justice. So that would be character versus society. Next, we've got character versus the supernatural. So this would be anytime a character faces off against some sort of phenomenon like a ghost, an evil spirit, a demon, monsters, or anything really not of our world. Okay, so things that don't exist in nature. That's what supernatural means. Then we've got character versus technology. That's our sixth type. So, in this type of conflict, the character is conflicting with some sort of technological development. So, maybe it's against a robot or a machine. Now, it's important to know that if there is another character operating that robot or that machine, and that technology is a tool that another character is using to prevent our protagonist from meeting their goal, that becomes character versus character. So the character really needs to be in conflict with the technology itself. So again, a robot operating on its own, or somebody who's struggling against technological advances in their world. So someone trying to compete with a machine to do the same type of task, for example. So that would be character versus technology. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is watch some short video clips, and then in your notes document, you will identify what type of conflict we're seeing in this clip. Sometime this week would be good. I'm trying to get out. Are you mad? I'll be mad later. Right now, I'm trying not to kill it. I don't get thicker. It's moving fast. Coming towards you, Joe. It's starting to turn. Okay, so what type of conflict is taking place there? Here's our next clip from Beauty and the Beast. What's the matter, Beast? Too kind and gentle to fight back. Next up, we've got a scene from the 2016 remake of Ghostbusters.
Do you see that? The eyes. All right, Holzer, now's not the time to be messing. No. Oh, cream is cheaper.
Hey, Patty, can I get some illumination on this subject?
Yeah, I can put some light on that.
Oh, boy. That is more unsettling.
That's the dude I saw. I'm telling you, that's him.
We get another class 4, and this one's even more ionized than the one at the Aldrich Mansion.
Where are these ghosts coming from?
You know what?
Next up, we've got the scene of the first battle of Geonosis from Star Wars Episode 2.
My legs aren't moving. I must need maintenance.
This one might be a bit trickier, so I'm curious to see what type of conflict you put for this one. All right, next up we've got the scene from Tangled right after Rapunzel has run away from the tower.
I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I did this. Mother would be so furious. That's okay. I mean, she doesn't know won't kill her, right? Oh my gosh. This would kill her. This is so fun! I am a horrible daughter. I'm going back. I am never going back! I am a despicable human being. Best day ever!
All right, our final scene to identify the type of conflict in is from Hidden Figures.
You're not where I need you to be. It's not my imagination. Now, where the hell do you go every day?
To the bathroom, sir.
The bathroom. To the damn bathroom. For 40 minutes a day? What are you doing there? T-minus 0 here. I put a lot of faith in you.
There's no bathroom for me here.
What do you mean there's no bathroom for you here?
There is no bathroom. There are no colored bathrooms in this building or any building outside the West Campus, which is half a mile away. Did you know that? I have to walk to Timbuktu just to relieve myself. And I can't use one of the handy bikes. Picture that, Mr. Harrison. My uniform, skirt below my knees, my heels, and a simple string of pearls. Well, I don't own pearls. Lord knows you don't pay colors enough to afford pearls. And I work like a dog day and night, living off of coffee from a pot none of you want to touch. So, excuse me if I have to go to the restroom a few times a day.
So in this scene, really think beyond the conversation that's happening here, and think about what this character is really struggling with overall to figure out the type of conflict. All right, that's it, folks. So finish filling out your notes in that other document, and then once they're done, show them to me, please. Have a great day.